It's yours, Mr. Moreno.
Yes, sir. All right. I believe we are at capacity according to our fire marshal. And I understand that we have another location, another venue to serve the community as far as the meeting is concerned. Father Campos, can we use the... Okay, so, all right. At this time, I would like to give a short recess so that we all can go over to the San Juan Diego Parish Hall, which is next to the Our Lady of Guadalupe Church. Mr. Servin, is there any other...
Well, I just wanted to make sure that we have some mics over there.
Some microphones? Sound system is not that good? Hold on. We don't have a sound system we don't have a portable sound system? Okay, hold on. Can the doors remain open? If they stay outside? Well, we have our officers here to make sure that no one comes in. Okay. Should we let them know? Okay. Absolutely. Firefighter, Mr. Humbert Felix, have the citizens been warned or advised? Have we also allowed them, they know about the public comments? Okay, they have papers, okay. Yeah, they'll bring them up when they have it. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order at approximately 7:26 p.m. We apologize for the length of our closed session items. I will now defer to our, let's note the attendance. Everyone is present. And please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call Father Campos for the invocation from Our Lady of Guadalupe Catholic Church. You just need the Pledge of Allegiance.
Today I'm going to start with a quotation from the Holy Bible. It says, "Then the Lord God formed the man out of the dust of the ground and blew into his nostrils the breath, the spirit of life, and then the man became a living being. A man of dust without spirit cannot transform anything, cannot do anything. We need to trust the Spirit of God that worked through our ancestors. Come, Spirit of God, without you, our strength for life ends showing death. Our efforts to find happiness and embitter and satisfy selfishness. Come, Spirit of God. Without you, our progress does not lead us to a better, joyful, and noble life. Without you, there will be never united people, united Calexico, united family, but a constant defeated by divisions, breaking confrontations. Without you, we'll be continue dividing and separating all, north and south, first world, third world, left and right, believers, atheists, men and women. Reminds us that we all come from the same Father, and we are all called to joyful and happy communion. Renew our love of the world and things. Teach us to care for this beautiful land that you have given us as a common house where the human family can grow. Come, Spirit of God. We will continue, without you, we will continue disputing aggressively. We will each pursue our private property and will make it increasingly inhospitable and an inhabitable place. Come, Spirit of God. Teach us to understand, even if we speak different languages. If your law of love does not dwell in us, we will continue with the scale of absurd, endless violence. Dios Todopoderoso, que tú nos has llamado al servicio, y todos los que tú nos has llamado a un servicio público, tenemos una gran responsabilidad. No nos representamos nosotros. En tu nombre, ilumina los corazones de estas personas que tienen la capacidad de decisión y que busquen siempre el bien común y que sean recordados un día como personas valientes, como personas que dijeron: Calexico no se puede parar. Calexico es una ciudad de mucho progreso, de esperanza, de bendición. En tu nombre, Señor, te pedimos que bendigas los corazones de aquellas personas que tienen que tomar decisión. Amén.
Amen. Thank you, Father Campos. Closed session, announcements. Item 1, public employee appointment, title, Acting Interim City Attorney. Please note that action was taken to appoint Mr. Austin, Ms. Farrell from Rutan and Tucker LLP as interim city attorney by a vote of 3-2, with Mr. Kim and Mr. Castro in opposition. Item number 2, I will defer to interim city attorney, Mr. Austin.
Thank you, Mayor. On items number 2 and 3 of the closed session agenda, no action was taken on either item.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Castro.
For
go
how
ahead.
long the city of Calexico are going to hire this new firm? For how long? Until when?
Until a permanent firm is approved by council.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And now I'd like to entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Hurtado. Is there a second? I will second. All those in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion
Opposing.
carries unanimously.
Opposing, no.
No, excuse me, motion carries 4-1 with Mr. Kim in opposition. Announcements. These proceedings may be viewed on the City of Calexico website at calexico.ca.gov the Friday following the City Council meeting. Public comments and public appearances. Note, not to exceed 3 minutes. This is the time for the public to address City Council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The mayor will recognize you, and when you come to the microphone, please state your name and place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay the council meeting with personal or slanderous remarks. If the item you wish to comment on is a closed session or consent item, please comment now. The City Council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. If the item you wish to comment on is on the public portion of the agenda, we will take your comment when we get to the item on the agenda. Please direct your questions and comments to the City Council. Okay. I'm sorry. We were going to move item 19. Mr. City Manager, do you recall item number 19?
Yes. Well, we recommend that item 19 be moved to the consent calendar. It was brought to our attention that it's an action of the City Council and not the Calexico successor agency.
So what you're saying is we want to move item 19 to the consent calendar, calling it, we'll say 10A.
Correct.
And even though there's a move in the consent calendar, I would have Ms. Hurtado rescind her motion and make a new motion. Will that change?
So be it.
And I will rescind my second. So the motion is now to approve the agenda once again. Is that correct? With item number 19 now becoming item number 10A in the consent calendar. I will second. All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Mr. King, are you? Yes, you are, right?
Yeah, I'm opposing.
Okay. Motion carries 4-1. I can't read his mind, but this time I was able to. 4-1. Okay. So we will go now to public comments. And if I'm not mistaken, I have, is there anyone out in the hallway that submitted a request to public comments? I only have 2. The other items are items 6 and 11, which has very many comments on that one. So I only have 2 for public comments. Gil Rebollar. Is Gil Rebollar here? Please come for the... And behind Gil, we have Manuel Yañez. If you could come to this podium. Manuel Yañez. And this is for the general comments. All right. Mr. Rebollar, you'll be timed for 3 minutes. As soon as you start speaking, we'll start the timer.
All right, cool. I'm Gil Reblar, Brawley, California. I work for the Imperial County Area Agency on Aging. I'm just here on behalf of our agency to thank the City of Calexico, specifically Sandra Toller and Richard Warren, Every year we put out a senior directory. It's a free directory for seniors. It provides valuable information that's for seniors such as pharmacies. And this year we got the cities involved. So Calexico will be receiving 1,000 of these to distribute along the senior centers and wherever they're like. And like I said, the city of Calexico jumped on board, and they're the biggest contributor this year. They got a full-page ad. And I just kind of share something at some time. I went to each city manager and about this project, and each of them looked at it, went through it, and said, we jumped on board. They said it was a good thing. I met Mr. Warren. He looked through it, he put it down, and he said, where's Calexico? And he started coming with questions about Calexico being represented, and he asked me some tough questions about it, and I was like, man, I just got hired a month ago. Like, but he came off as someone who cared. You know, he wanted the city represented. He wanted it right. He let me know if, they're going to be on board with it, that Calexico needs to be represented properly in this. And like I said, him and Sandra Toller worked together with me. They offered some insight for this, and it's a great project. And Calexico, like I said, thank you to Mr. Warren, Mrs. Toller, and the city of Calexico. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rebollar. Okay, and behind Mr. Yanez is Yoli Cordero. You may begin, Mr. Yanez.
Thank you. Good evening, council members. Good evening, City Calexico, citizens of Calexico. For the last 28 years, I've been living here in Calexico. This is my hometown now. Okay. This is my hometown now. I used to live in Mexicali, and when I came to the United States 35 years ago, I thought that this country will be giving me the opportunities that everyone was thinking about. Now that I'm here, I see the opportunities everywhere. But the last few months, I've been heard that the City of Calexico members, City Council members, and citizens have been fighting between each other. It's incredible. Since I came to this city, to beautiful city for me, I've been here and never get involved in this kind of politicians, or never involved, and I never had talked in front of the people. Why? Because I don't wanna get involved. Like my mom and my wife say, if you get involved, then they're gonna have some kind of retaliation to your business. Is that true? Am I gonna get retaliation if I speak to you unfriendly? Is that true? Am I going to get a retaliation? I have a question. Okay, you cannot allow to answer right now. I'm going to just talk, because I have only 2 minutes, 3 minutes left, about leadership. I went to Google, everyone can do it. But I went to Google, I want to define leadership, what it is. Leadership can be hard to be defined, and it means different things to different people in the transformational leadership model. Leaders set direction and help themselves and others to do the right thing, to move forward. To do this, they create an inspiring vision, and then motivate and inspire others to reach the vision. I have seen, and the council members, they are lack of leadership. Am I afraid to say that? No. Why? Because I'm not going to get any retaliation because I say that. You guys, honorable council members, needs to take control of the city. As I can see, in the Calexico organization chart, citizens are on the top. They are the ones that control the city council. Then, under the city council are the city of Calexico employees. Guess what? Who's the boss here? Citizens are the boss. But because we weren't allowed to speak in front of people and tell the employees what they had to do, then what happened? The employees take control of the city. Is that beneficial for everyone? Who has to have the control? Who's the one that has to have the control? Council members. But if we don't have leadership, one of you doesn't assume the leadership role, then we are lost. We are lost in the middle.
Your 3 minutes are up, Mr. That's
I
it.
still have another one, if I might.
No,
Can I have 1 minute?
it's only 3 minutes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay. Next time, I speak about respect.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir. Yoli Cordero, and I don't have any more after that unless someone submits something right now. Okay.
I think there's a lot of people that, like this gentleman was saying, that would like to speak, but they're afraid to speak. And my biggest concern right now is that since we're going through these troubles right now, I don't know why all the city council and together with our city manager, give direction to our city manager, should have held this at the church or somewhere else, because there's people out there that can't come in, that they can't sit here and listen to what's going on here. Everybody's biggest concern has to do with all the gossip that's going in around town. Are we going to lose our city manager? Are we going to lose our chief? God damn it, can't you do that right? When am I going to finish talking? Sorry.
I am timing you on this one here.
Well, yeah, but he keeps on beeping. That's not right.
I know. Just keep going. You've got 2:40. You're 2:30, 2:39.
Dang it.
I will fix that here, Mr. Kim. I had it all ready to go.
Anyway, what I was saying was that I don't think it's fair for the people that are out there that they're not able to come in and sit in the city council meeting. Our other concern is what's going to happen to our city manager and our chief of police. I know there's a divided council. It's 2-2. And I voted for Mandy because I thought, and he expressed that he was going to bring that balance to our city council, and it didn't happen. And him and I met yesterday, and I told him, you know, Mandy, you've only been here 6 months, and you've caused so much hell in this city. Unbelievable. So then I said, Mandy, you have about 15 or 16 months to do whatever you want because you have the city by the yang-yangs. But come November next year, we're going to have, well, if there's a recall, that would be great, but I don't know, how long it takes or whatever. But next year, there's going to be people running for the city council. We really need people to run that are efficient, that are business people, that really care enough for the city, and you need to come out and vote because we can't be continuing with this BS. For the last 35 years, there's been politics all the time, and there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues. I sit in the Finance Advisory Board. You know, as I was speaking to this lady outside and giving her information and stuff, one of the ex-city police officers, he started fighting with me or arguing with me. I said, you know what? This is why we don't get along. This is what happens in the city council. This lady's asking me for information. I'm going to give it to her what I have. Then if you want to, then you can give her your information too. But this is what it is. It's the bad against the good, against each other. It's power and greed. Everybody's fighting for that power and that greed. And we have to stop that power and greed and put it like we are the bosses, the city of Calexico, the citizens of Calexico. We are your bosses, and you have to do what is best for us, okay? And one more thing, having my conversation with Mandy, and you told me, Mandy, because the lady asked me, is it true that Mandy wants to bring in the sheriff department? That's what he told me at Starbucks yesterday. I'm going to disband the police department. I'm going to bring in the sheriff. I'm going to get rid of the city manager, and I'm going to get rid of the police officer. Because I'm going to bring a new city manager, which is going to be Alex, the one in Hopeville. Right, Mandy? Weren't we having cafecito yesterday? Yes, okay, so that's what happened yesterday. And I mean, he was honest. He was talking to me. We had a great conversation. And I mean, that's his feeling. That's what he feels that is going to be the best for Calexico. I don't think it's the best for Calexico, but I didn't want to be arguing. But anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Cordero. Okay, moving right along to City Council comments and reports of meetings attended. You will have each 3 minutes, those of you who want to speak. Is there anyone wanting to go? Mr. Romo, I have you items 10 through 15. Oh, I apologize. Yes, Mr. Romo. It's right here, public comments. Mr. Romo, thank you. I apologize profusely. Okay. Okay. The time. When he starts.
Design, yes. Yeah, that's my train of thoughts, man.
Public comments.
Yes. Good evening, council members, members of the audience. I've only got, I'm going to hurry up, and you got to give me about 15 seconds more. I think today is a big day for most citizens, or most. I know.
Could you stop and try this microphone here? I think it may be that microphone. Could you reset it to 3 minutes, please? Okay. No, Mr. Campbell. No. Okay.
I don't think I want to speak anymore. Jeez, this is Christ. All right, my name is John Romo. I was born and raised in the city of Calexico, the city. I think today is a big day for most citizens, or maybe all of the citizens. Last meeting was a chaotic meeting because there was no control and order due to lack of knowledge or understanding in how to proceed with appropriateness of meetings, which falls under the Brown Act, which falls under the proper decorum. It should never have been called. I commend Mrs. Hurtado for being here at the last meeting to speak for us. I think she did a great job. I think I don't need to have to say it anymore. I'm in favor of Mr. Warren and Chief Bostic, which people would call him a consultant, but actually he's a CEO, Chief Executive Officer. So by all stands, that means chief. As council members, you are obligated to protect each other's rights and the transaction of business, which results here in a division, which people have been calling you. You are divided, you're not working together, and you are under the Brown Act. You should work together. You took an oath, and the people who elected you, Yoli Cordero has a good point. As an example, Mr. Mandy Real told me once, I don't like the city manager as well. This is not about liking the city manager or not. This is not about a personal business. This is about doing the right thing and carrying on forward. For 35 years, we have many city managers and chief of police. I've been here all my life, 69 years, and I'm seeing good things happening with the city manager and Chief Bostic. So please go forward with it. Leave your agendas, personal agendas aside, and do the right thing. Never mind whether he's getting big money or not. I don't even know what he's getting paid for. Just pay attention to what things are being done and being corrected. That's all I gotta say.
I've got you 10 through 15. I've got you right here. Okay. 11 through 15. Thank you. All right. Now moving on to City Council comments and reports of meetings attended. Who would like to begin?
I can go first.
Okay.
We've got to have a lot of people here. We'll start with, I think it was Yoli that said that I want to get the Sheriff's Department in here. And let me address that real quick because I don't have a lot of time. As a city council member, newly elected for 6 months, you mean if you guys want to believe that we're at this place and time because of me, You're mistaken. JPIA says it's been 20 years in the making, okay? The police department in the city of Calexico costs the city $7.5 million a year. How many, can I ask you how many overtime?
Excuse me, you have the floor.
How many officers are patrolling the street right now? Is it 2 and 1, 3 and 1? Can somebody give me that information? Nobody can give that information?
We're
2
not-
and 1. Okay. 4 and 1 all day, 24 hours a day? Yeah. So we were 3 and 1 and 4 and 1. Okay. For the city, other cities in the county have 2 officers, 1 sergeant patrolling at a cost of $1.2 million. That's the sheriff in the city of Hopeville. Now that's a $6 million difference for just 1 officer. Okay? $6 million difference that I want to bring. Okay? It is my duty to bring options to the city of Calexico. Okay? And that's an option. As far as the finance advisory, Yoli, have you had any financial report in the last year? You haven't had a meeting in months. I'm not sure where you're at. So I don't know who you're talking about finances. Okay.
No,
because you're going to include my...
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Okay. You're going to stop my time?
No, I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
We haven't had a finance advisory board since October when the chaos broke down and we were going into the election. So we could not get together because we wanted to wait till the new city council came in. You were attending all our meetings, Mandy, because you
Correct.
wanted to know all this about us.
Correct.
Okay, great. Then the holidays came. Then January came. We met in February. Then the whole mess started again when you started putting your finger in everything. Then we couldn't get together with a finance advisory board. So we haven't gone together.
You haven't had a meeting?
We had a meeting. Well, we tried to have a meeting, but then there was something else that you guys planned, and then the meeting fell apart. But you made me lose my train of thought.
Well, the point is you haven't had a meeting.
We haven't.
The
I'll tell you
city
what
council
we've
hasn't
done.
had financial statements for a year.
We're not
For
a
1
private.
year.
Okay,
Okay.
we're not having a discussion, Mr. You're just commenting, Mr. Real. Go ahead.
Okay. The city of Calexico has an unemployment rate of almost 30%. Income per capita of $13,000 per capita. 13,000. Right now, your police chief is making $228,000 in pay, $25,000 in housing, $8,000 in auto, and $90,000 in CalPERS, which is his retirement. Is that correct, Chief?
No, that's not correct. I don't know what the facts you believe you're
Is that not correct, Mr. Finance Director? If someone care to say that that's not correct? Okay. Okay. Okay, that's a total of $351,000. At 16 days a month, because the city hall's closed twice at Fridays, he makes $1,828 a day. $1,828 a day. Your city manager, if you guys believe that's fair, then that's fine. You guys can go ahead and keep him. Okay.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Real. Mr. Real, make your statements and move on. I'll give you 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I'm done.
All right, never mind. All right, moving on. Who wants to go next? Do you want to go, Mr. Castro?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Castro, you may go. Reset the timer.
Oh, Lord. She said that. Okay.
Money is no object.
Bueno, como dijo el padre, dijo que esta es una ciudad próspera. En efecto, es una ciudad próspera. Tiene mucho futuro. Desafortunadamente, hemos tenido muy mala administración desde hace 7, 8, 9 meses. Creemos
Just keep going. Keep going.
¿Va a callar a la gente, Mayor?
Go,
O
you keep going. You make your
¿Estoy
statement.
bien? No, no hay problema que siga hablando.
Go.
Ok, perfecto, gracias. Gracias.
All right,
I can-
Mr. Castro, you have the floor.
I can translate in a few minutes for someone who do not understand Spanish, okay? Is that sounds good? No? Okay, Mayor.
Okay, hold
can
on.
you control the
Could you
meeting?
stop the timer, Mr. Kim? Hold on, Mr. Castro. Stop the timer. Stop the timer. Does, how many, we have, if you need receivers, si necesitan los audífonos, por favor, pueden ir atrás a recoger uno. We'll wait for that, Mr. Castro, if you like.
No, estoy hablando español, no puedo hablar español.
¿Todos
Mayor.
entienden español aquí? Habla español.
Gracias. Gracias.
Habla español, señor Castro.
Gracias, Mayor. Es usted muy amable.
Go ahead, start
Como le estaba diciendo, tenemos que, nosotros los ciudadanos, ustedes los ciudadanos y nosotros la ciudadanía y los concejales, tenemos que buscar por el beneficio de ustedes. Hasta ahorita la administración está fallando, ha tomado malas decisiones, han creado mentiras. El consultante, señor Basic, ha sido una persona que se ha reído del council, ha hablado irrespetuosamente del señor Mandy, ha hablado irrespetuosamente de cada uno de nosotros. Si él no respeta a los concejales, imagínense que los va a respetar a ustedes. Él trae un uniforme ahorita y es una persona que se burla del concilio. Es una persona que dice que nosotros hablamos como los changos. Yo creo que de donde viene él hablan como changos, pero aquí no hablamos como changos. Estamos hablando de personas que tenemos que respetar como ustedes. Él ha creado y el señor Richard Warren han creado una ciudad no saludable. Están echando mentiras y esto no es correcto. El señor Basic se le empleó, lo empleó el señor Richard Warren, aún sabiendo que él no cumplió con las necesidades para ser chief of police.
I will call for a recess if we don't behave ourselves. Go ahead, Mr. Castro.
Hay una ordenanza de la ciudad que el señor Richard Warren la violó y es la Calexico Municipal Code 2.010.030. Aquí dice Appointment of the Police Chief. Esa ordenanza hasta ahorita no se ha discutido ni ha pasado por el concilio. Yo le pedí al señor mayor que ese tema pasara por el concilio. Le pedí al city attorney, también le pedí y dijeron que lo iban a poner en la agenda. No lo pusieron. Entonces la ciudad de Calexico no está cumpliendo con las mismas reglas que tenemos aquí, las ordenanzas. Esa es una de las cosas que por eso no se le apoya al señor Richard Warren. Y no nomás esa, hay varias violaciones que la ciudad de Calexico ha recibido.
Your 3 minutes are up, Mr.
Gracias.
Castro.
¿Quieren
Okay, thank you for your comments. Who's
no
next?
quieren que les haga translate? ¿De veras? Ok, gracias.
Anyone else? Mr. Kim or Ms. Hurtado?
I'm writing.
Someone here talked about appropriateness and personal agendas and things like that, and I think that the reason why we have so many people here, of course, is that we all care about the future of Calexico. JPIA is a big issue for all of us, and many of you should understand what's happening here. JPIA has already reached a decision with their board, an executive board of city council members that are about 10, I believe, board members, And they arrived at the decision that on July the 1st, our policy will no longer be in effect. They did give us some time to appeal and to be able to ask for the decision to be rescinded. In order to be able to have the decision rescinded, our council needs to show that we got it together, and that we are going to show not only this community stability, but our insurance as well. Stability means having strong leadership. Leadership, que en español se dice la mano dura. Depending on which side you're on, if you want to look at sides, a lot of us thought that we had a big problem in our police department last year. And due to the fact that we have a Department of Justice intervention and a lot of other agencies' intervention, it is obvious that we do have a problem that's under investigation. We should respect that. And we should respect that because many of these officers may have touched your family at one point, and you may want to know if justice is going to be served or not. And the fact that JPIA recognizes that, and that we have a city manager here that had the fortitude enough to go forward and not care about what the results were going to be, he did the right thing. And he did the right thing for all of your safety, because it's not right to have a police officer doing wrongdoings. It's not a secretary, it's an officer of the law. So in order for us to be able to move forward, we need to know if we're going to have insurance or not. And I know that part of this council here has gone around with staff, with the community, has given them exaggerated amounts about what was going to be paid here, talking about we have a plan B. Up until today, I haven't seen a plan B. The last time I checked, I was elected too, and I have the right to know if we have a plan B for you or not. There was no plan B. Up until this point, I have not seen any proof of a plan B. Then I started hearing the name Alex Meyerhoff throughout some of the conversations, and just confirmed right now by Yoli. And I took upon myself to call JPIA and ask if it was true, that if it was appropriate for this council to go off without a meeting and find another candidate behind closed doors, or actually a secret meeting. And they say, of course not. That doesn't show good governance. That's what we did last year. Last year there was a meeting in Las Vegas, California, where apparently our police chief and one of our sergeants went up and hired a new city manager. That's not right. That's not transparency. You guys didn't have a chance to even know who this person was. John and I didn't even, the mayor didn't even have a chance to know who this person was. He just showed up one day and all of a sudden we had to accept him. That's not good governance. And apparently with this Mr. Meyerhoff's recommendation or ideas of wanting to hire, same thing. When are we going to stop that? Today we need to prove that we're a transparent government, that we're a transparent council, and that we want reform. And it's so easy. It's cheaper to keep her. Because we want to cry about dollars, then let's cry about when none of you guys have a job. And none of you guys out there, the ladies that have services, no more water. Isn't that more expensive? Think about it.
Thank you, Ms. Hurtado.
Clarification from Nick Servin, there would be no water if JPI cuts our insurance?
Unless the state takes over quickly.
So you would have no water?
I'll take it.
Have no insurance.
Water is a fundamental right. They can't cut the water. Can't cut the water.
Hold on. Go ahead, Mr. City Attorney.
Right. Well, we're moving on to subjects that are not on the agenda. This is each council member is supposed to say his piece, his limited topic, and then move on to the next council.
Thank you. Mr. Kim.
I think it's a long time as a council member, lots of community members attended. I'm happy to see the real flower of the Democratic. Against me or support me. They are here, they are part of the democratic process. Of course, some people yelling to me, they're not representing all my supporters. I attended Child First Commission. I was commissioner in the county. And finally, we have almost $200,000, the grant to approve to the neighborhood house, so we can have another 2 years to serve the pre-K children. And the other one, I was attended League of City. I found very interesting things. And tonight we're going to buy the body cam, but the League of City saying the assembly right now they making bill to the grant to give us the money to buy the body cam. So why we need to buy? Because we can ask the grant to, it doesn't cost us anything. Well, the other one is
Body cameras were approved already.
for the police chief, police officers.
Yeah.
The city, I mean, the state, Maryland is trying to make the big grant for each city to, some city needed help to, they can buy the body cams. That's what the League of the City reported. Okay, let's go to the point. Some people saying city is a dysfunctionality. I agree with the 100% because our city right now is squeezing the community members. Besides merchants, every citizens, they got mad right now. Even last night at the market, they say, keeping up. We need to change it. Okay? And somebody saying the best for the city of Calexico. Yes, we try to make the decision for the best of the city of Calexico. But right now, we are losing more. Look at the street. Look at the around you. We are losing our value of the city every moment. Because someone said the leadership, yes, in a way I agree with it. Because the leadership, even council member cannot put the agenda. We have to go to the court. Even we follow the court process, our administration, they didn't put the agenda right. And they don't provide the minute, they didn't provide what's called the recording, translator, nobody. And then same time, the same group, they were saying it's not correctly done. Of course, our step didn't do right. It's not our job to do correctly, to put the agenda, things like that. It's our step to do it. They're supposed to put it on there. They're supposed to provide it. We're not provided. That's what's happening here. The city council cannot order the staff to do right job. That's why we're losing a lot of the things, squeezing the community. We're losing the benefit, a lot of angers in the citizens.
Your 3 minutes are up, Mr. Kim.
I'm wrapping up. For the police officers, someone said when I'm running, said don't get the police support because
Okay.
everybody has negative on the police.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kim. Thank you. All right. I want to thank the staff for doing an outstanding job at the Veterans Memorial. I know we are a city that really appreciates the work that they do and they've done throughout the Imperial County and the state of California. So thank you, Mr. Warren and your staff, and of course our veteran groups that are here today, Joe Vindiola and Mr. Pacheco, Francisco Pacheco, congratulations. We've got a lot of problems to fix. I've said it before, and it's like a broken record. We are not supposed to create problems, we're supposed to fix problems. There are protocols, there are processes to getting things on the agenda, and I've said it before, these items that you want to get on the agenda is fine. They must fall under our goals and objectives, they must have merit, and I'll be happy to work with you on these items. You and I can talk about an item on the agenda, and I don't mind that. And I've said it before, Mr. Castro and I can talk. We don't have to bring it out here in public. We can fix it in private. We can say, okay, I'll send Mr. Warren a memo that I'm requesting this item, and this is my substantiating information because I want that item on the agenda. Too many times we're complaining about things not getting on the agenda. Well, let's fix it. Let's take a look at what we're doing. We have a community out here that is here to support us, to support our staff. They want us to get things done. They want us to move our community forward. We continue this fighting, we continue this arguing amongst ourselves, it's not going to get us anywhere. And frankly, it's embarrassing. And I hope that we understand our roles. And I have said it before, we don't have insurance on July 1, people. Our insurance is gone. That is the big picture here. We're not going to function as a community if we don't have that coverage. So think about that, folks. Think about what you're doing. Listen to the recommendations from our insurance authority. I hope that you do that. I hope that you base your decisions on business, not personal. And with that, I will close so we can continue the meeting. July 1, we have no insurance, and I'm not going to get any further comments, okay? Consent calendar. We have one person that wants to speak on the consent calendar that I didn't get on public comments, and that is Ms. Olivia Valenzuela. She wants to speak on item number 6. It'll take you 3 minutes to get there. Oh, just.
Good evening. Olivia Valenzuela, 707 Rockwood Avenue, Calexico. I have a concern with item number 6, and that's the sale of fireworks. As much fun as fireworks are, and as much fun as I had as a kid with fireworks, for a few years, I worked closely with parents and children and seniors who suffer from respiratory diseases. And my concern here is the the air quality again. Air quality in Imperial County is one of the worst in the state. We also have a high index of residents in Imperial County who suffer from respiratory diseases, particularly in Calexico, because of the PM10s and because of the New River, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I am not going to get on my soapbox and go through it again. Even the dogs suffer. Gloria, I mentioned your dog. Even the dogs suffer because of the smoke in the air. And again, as much fun as they are, I love fireworks, but I'm also concerned about health. And the health of our children is very, very important because that's our future. The health of my fellow seniors is our present. And even though I don't suffer, thank God, from those diseases, I know a lot of people who do. So I'm really concerned about this, and I hope that if you don't prohibit the sale, at least limit. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Valenzuela. All right, moving to consent calendar. Thank you again. We have items 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10B, which is former item 19. Is there anyone liking to remove an item from the consent calendar?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Kim, which items would you like to remove?
Number 4, 5, 8,
4, 5, 8,
and 9,
4, 5, 8, 9.
10A, 10B.
Okay, and well, 10A is
No,
19.
none.
Did you want to remove 10A?
You mean
which
10A?
is-
Okay, 10A.
Which is 19.
Okay, 10A.
Okay, so Mr. Kim, we're gonna, anyone else like to pull it? There's 3 items left. Anyone like to? Okay, so is there a motion to approve 6, 7, and 10? Moved by Hurtado, is there a second? I will second. Can we use the board to vote? Please vote on the board for the consent. Okay. Please, in favor, respond by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Kim, you asked for item 4.
The reason I would like to ask, because I like to abstain because I've never been that meeting as a council member.
Okay, so you will abstain. Anyone else have a question?
What was the comment?
He wants to abstain because he was not on the council at that time. Seeing nobody wants to comment or question, I'll motion for its approval.
Second, sir.
Moved by Moreno, second by Hurtado. All respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is item 4, with Mr. Kim abstaining, 4-0, and I guess a non-vote. Number 5, is that, you pulled that one too, right, Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Warrants from April 22 to May 5, 2015.
Well, first of all, I have a last several, it looks like several law firm, the bills in there, but I'm not going to get there. But I have some question about the I believe pages 2, ACH number 1274, Esparza Advertising, April 30th, $1,330. Is that we city paying for the Mr. Esparza for the videotaping Mr. Mandy, Mr. Lear? Is that the same night?
No, this was the videotaping of the State of the City address.
Yeah, but after that, Mr. Esparza was taping the Mr. Lear at the outside. Is that including the fees here from city paying?
I'm sorry, I don't know
That was a freebie.
The $1,330 was a videotaping of the State of the City address.
For the city of tapes, city
Right.
of state of city only.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
I hope you enjoyed it, Mr. Kim.
Yes, I'm doing it.
All right, any other items from any other council members?
I'm
Any
enjoying not be
questions?
there because it's a hypocrite.
Seeing that there's none, is there a motion to approve item 5? I will move for its approval. If it's, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Real. Let me know when we can use the board. Let's try it again. Please vote on the board for item 5. No, it's not working. Please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. No? 3, 1, and Ms. Hurtado absent. Okay, there it is. Okay, we'll do it for the next one. Item number 8, Mr. Kim had requested 8, which is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico establishing appropriation limit for fiscal year 15-16 pursuant to Article 8B of the California Constitution. Go ahead, Mr. Kim.
Yeah, I think the reason I pulled out, I'd like to see what we're standing about the appropriation limit. I'd like to let the community know where it's standing.
Article 8B of the California Constitution was voted on by the people, and there is an appropriations limit on the general fund based upon population and inflation. So the law requires that every year that the City Council adopt a resolution setting what they call the GAN limit, and so that's what you have before you.
This is done every year, right?
It's done every year.
Okay, routine. Any other questions, Mr. Kim?
Yeah, I just want to let the public know where we're standing. That's my intention to questioning.
Okay,
I'll make the motion to prove it.
thank you. Is there, we're on number 8. Moved by Kim. Is there a second? Second by Hurtado. Please vote. Motion carries unanimously, 5-0. Item number 9, the resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico approving the city's investment policy, including certain revisions thereto. Mr. Kim, you had this one?
I make the
Yeah.
motion we table 9,
Well,
the next agenda meeting.
Let him ask a question. You have a question, Mr. Kim?
Well, okay, we can go table it.
You want to table item 9?
What's the question, though?
Well, he wants to table it.
Do we need to do some more research on it or something?
I don't know. Let me have that. No, this one.
So we
There's a motion to table item 9 by Mr. Real, or Mr. Kim.
Second.
Second by Mr. Kim. Please vote.
the insurance. Doesn't work.
The investment policy? Motion carries 3-2 with Mr. Castro and Mr. Hurtado in opposition. Oh, never mind, it was a 4-1. 10, you pulled 10B, which is 19, the resolution confirming the city's intent with respect to the city's retention for government use of the Heber Park expansion properties described with long-range property management plan prepared by the successor agency to the Calexico Community Redevelopment Agency. Mr. Kim, you had a question on that?
Yeah, my question, first question is, don't city own that or RDO own this park?
The property is owned by the successor agency to the former redevelopment agency. What you're doing on this, by taking this action, is confirming that the site where the National Guard Armory is sitting will be used for recreational purposes.
So when that happens, the RDA took over the park. It shouldn't be usually the city's park?
No, it's by taking this particular action, what you will be doing is confirming that it's the intent of the city council by amending the long-range property management plan to use that particular property for recreational purposes.
Make a motion to table.
I second it.
All right, they're making a motion to table. Please vote.
Just an additional question. Was this with regard to the demolition or the future plan?
No, this one's a park.
This is
I'm asking the city manager.
This will confirm, and the city is agreeing that the property will be used for recreational purposes and will ultimately be transferred from the successor agency to the city of Calexico.
Okay, so it's more
It's a
planning.
ministerial act that we need to do to satisfy the California Department of Finance.
Okay. There's a motion to table.
It may be a good idea that there be a bit more review and briefing for the staff. I mean, not to the staff. The council can understand these issues. But I understand maybe they didn't go to their briefing again.
Some members attend briefings, some don't.
Mr. Mayor, there is a time limit on this. This item has a time limit. I'm not sure we would be able to make that time limit by the next meeting. So it's really a perfunctory thing that goes to the Department of Finance. It's only a confirmation. It doesn't change anything. It's just something we have to do for the Department of Finance. And by tabling it, you could
But it's already 3.
jeopardize the time limit on that with the Department of Finance.
Okay, so if we jeopardize the time limit by not approving it, do they fine us or are there sanctions?
I'm not sure. Maybe the city attorney knows, but
When is time limit?
It could interfere with your ability to implement the long-range property management plan. The substantive act that you are, in terms of what you're going to do with this property, was already decided upon when the successor agency approved its long-range property management plan, which sets forth what you're going to do with this property. All this is doing is saying that from the city's perspective, the city being a separate entity from the successor agency, the city is confirming to the Department of Finance that yes, we agree this is still being used for governmental purposes as set forth in the long-range property management plan, and that has, calling it its use for governmental purposes has certain impacts. It makes it easier to allow the use that you want to use of it, but this is basically just implementing something that you already approved as part of the long-range property management plan.
So if we already approved it, why do we have to vote on it?
Well, because this has to do with the city's perspective representing to the Department of Finance, yes, we agree this is being used for governmental purposes as set forth in the long-range property management plan.
And I might add, it's the California Department of Finance is the one that's requiring us to do this. It's one of their...
Right.
There's a motion on the floor, right? To table.
There's one of the hoops that we have to jump through.
So I'm asking when is the time limit? When is the time due that we have to make decision on this?
it's my understanding that the time limit was around the 16th or the 17th of June.
So I think it would behoove us to approve it at this time. We want to make sure that the long-range plan stays as is. Mr. Servin?
Yeah, it's really a ministerial action. Shouldn't be any controversy at all. If anything, we're going to err and lose our opportunity. So
Okay.
we don't want to do that.
Yes,
So-
I understand, but I like to see the when is time limit.
Okay.
But they don't give it to that date.
June
You
16.
can always ask
June
for that.
16.
You can always ask for that.
How come not in here then? How come
because
I will not back up documents? When they have the time limit, we supposed to, the council supposed to know when is the due, when is the time limit. We have to make the decision. Now you guys doesn't put in anything, and then we have a time limit. It's just 2 weeks.
Okay, people, please. All right. I think it's critical that we approve this item and not table it and waste any time. But there is a motion on the floor by Councilman Real, seconded by Kim, to table this item. I'm voting no. Anyone else voting no? I see that there are 3 yeses up there. Motion, we're going to have to table it, and we run the risk of not being financially sound in this particular area. So, and if it's ministerial, it means it's
just, once again, confirming what you've already done, but because the successor agency is a separate government entity from the city, Department of Finance is requiring the city to take the same action to confirm that this particular property is going to be a governmental use for recreation.
Well, next time you can bring back to
Is
you
Ms.
can
Terry-
bring back with the special meeting with the time limit.
So, wait a minute, hold on, time out. Okay. We're gonna,
Can I speak to?
hold on, Mr. Real. We're gonna earmark this area for recreation. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So why are you against making more parks?
Terry, can I speak to Terry Nava, please? I have a question. Well, there was a, my understanding is there's a plan for some, I guess some developers trying to develop that land, and it doesn't belong to Calexico so right now yet. That's my understanding. Is that correct?
No, that's incorrect.
So it belongs to us. We have title on that land. Calexico has title on that land.
The property belongs to the successor agency to the former redevelopment
But
agency.
not Calexico.
Well, I'm going to explain what the difference is. When the redevelopment agency, as you know, was a separate government entity where the city council sat as the board of directors. When the redevelopment agency was dissolved, it created a successor agency, okay? It's still 2 government entities, but the city council sits as the city council for the city and sits as the board of directors for the successor agency. So technically, it's 2 government entities, but in all reality, it's the city. Does that make sense? And so you are right. There was a developer that wanted to develop apartments where the National Guard Armory was, and that issue came to staff. It also was discussed at the Parks and Recreation Committee, and we have a shortage of parks as it is. So why would we take land that can be developed into a park and allow a developer to build apartments? Subsidized apartments, if you will, too. So basically, the long-range property management plan reflects, as well as what we've told the developer, reflects the fact that we're going to use this property for expansion of recreation opportunities on that side of the city where the National Guard Armory sits.
So there's money ready to build something in that park.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
So what's the urgency to get this done now?
Because
if there's no money to build it,
the Department of Finance wants us to do it, and there is a time limit on this particular.
Do you have the time limit in writing? We can. I mean, that's what I understand. What's the rush in knocking down the building at this moment? Because it's been there. I mean, it's been there for forever.
We're not talking about knocking down the building. We're talking about confirming that this particular property is going to be for governmental purposes. The city's going to do it. You've already done it through previous acts when you approve the property management plan and other acts, other things that the city council's already done. Department of Finance is simply asking the city, which is a separate government entity, to confirm that it's going to be for a governmental purpose for expansion of recreation.
Well, at the conference about this RDA land, RDA property, in case of a city wants to hold it by the city,
Let's
city
move on.
has to provide the all detailed future plan. But there's no future plan there. It's not going to be accepted in this.
All right, thank you. Motion been moved and seconded and approved to table. Okay, that was item number 10B.
10A will be.
I'm sorry, 10A. Now we're going to discussion and potential action items. I have number 11. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico approving the employment agreement with Richard Warren and appointing him as city manager of the City of Calexico. I have quite a few of these oral requests for communication. We will allow you to speak. First is Gloria Sigala Diaz, in opposition of the recommendation but would not like to speak. Excuse me. Maribel Padilla. And after Maribel, we have Ricardo Servin after Maribel. You may begin. You have 3 minutes.
Can I begin now? Is he done with the beeper?
Take the damn thing.
Okay.
When you start,
Okay. We're talking here about the contract that supposedly was agreed upon with the JPIA negotiator, right? This is the contract. Okay. That Mandy and Moreno, both of you were in it, and you agreed to this contract. Shook hands. I already said, shaking hands means nothing with the city council. So I don't know what the problem is. If you guys already sat there for 4 hours with a negotiator and came to an agreement, I don't know what the problem is now. Everybody's on the money that he's going to get. Oh my God, $199,000 is what he's asking. Rodriguez got 189. What did Rodriguez get us? Tavares. What did Rodriguez get us? 1.2 million in overtime. And you guys are complaining about him asking for $10,000 more? We're saving on all that 1.2 million in overtime that's not being spent. It's like a business. Sometimes you have to spend money to make money. That's how it works. So yes, we're going to pay him a little bit more because he is cleaning up the mess from previous administrations. And he is worth it. Okay? So he has to put up with all of you, everything else going on in this Facebook world of all these chismes and lies that are going around. I would have asked for more if I had to put up with all this crap. Now, I will say this. I personally don't agree on the severance pay. I think it's too much. 6, 8 months, I couldn't understand. It was a total of 14. I don't know. Okay, that I don't agree on. Severance pay should be 3 months, and that's it. You know, sooner or later, you're going to be out. So you should look ahead. So that I don't agree. So not everybody says that I'm always in agreement with him and all this stuff. No, there's stuff that I disagree in. But he's doing a job, and he's done more in the 11 months that he's been here than the previous manager that was here for 3 to 4 terms. And you paid him $189,000 for nothing, for letting the cops use $1.2 million in overtime. That's what you paid him for. And you guys are complaining for $199. Amazing. So get your act together, and if you don't like it, come up and speak your 3 minutes. So if you don't, we have to come into agreement now. We can't be putting it off. Let's get this done. Let's get JPIA back, and let's get our city going.
Thank you, Ms. Padilla. Hold on, Mr. Servini. We have in favor of the recommendation for keeping Mr. Warren, but would not like to speak, Francina Gonzalez. Mr. Servin, you may begin with Mr. Hold on, let me just make sure I got it. Mr. Romo, next. Go ahead.
My name is Richard. I live in 882 in Calexico. I think in the college you realize what you guys are doing. The city manager we have right now, the interim city manager, he's a good interim city manager. You should vote in favor of him. He's doing a very good job. Even the city police, you should find the right decision to help both of them. That's all I need to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Servin.
Good evening, council members, audience. For the record, John Romo, City of Calexico. And for the record, which is very important, this is why your motions, your interactions, your comments should be germane to the items at hand for the agenda, because the minutes might be going to courts, and it's very important for the recorder to record them right, appropriately. That's why you need to redirect your motions, speak it clearly, and go forward with it. That's how you create smooth meetings. I've already said it before, and I like what the people are saying. And in reference to what I said before, if the city manager is a concern that there's a concern that he's getting paid big money, well, I've already said it. They're doing the right job. I don't want to be redundant of the comments that the people have said. There's been other city managers, other police chiefs, and they haven't done the greatest job here as Mr. Warren and Mr. Bostic. I've already said it before in my public comments, and I am in support of Mr. Warren. Hopefully, you will have a clear picture. Now, code of ethics. I don't like to read the newspaper. I have the family, I'm Mr. Real. I have a wonderful relationship from a long time with them. It's personal. I love them all for a longest time. Now, we have a city official. And this is not personal, Mr. Real. You're a city official. You were elected. We are the government, and you are the representatives. The code of ethics, what you stated in the newspaper over my dead body, that's inappropriate. Come on.
No, he has his 3 minutes. Go ahead, Mr. Romo. Yes, he is. Go ahead, Mr. Romo.
Yes, I am. I'm speaking in yes, I am. Fuck. And it's a code of ethics. The newspaper states that Mr. Real said, over my dead body. We have looked into the past, city managers, and chief of police. I don't think you've done your homework, really, Mr. Real. No disrespect to you. Nothing personal. You guys don't have any names for me. That's it. Just need to get some training. That's it. That's what I said in my past meetings.
You may
Go
close.
forward, make your points, and that's it. That's all I got to say. Maybe more.
Thank you, Mr. Romo. Don't go very far, because you got 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay. We have Manuel Yañez, and after Manuel, we have Yoli Cordero. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, council members. Good evening, audience. Once again. My name is Manuel Yañez. I'm a civil engineer. I live here in Calexico. Well, I guess this is my lucky day, twice on the same day. Okay. I guess that the city council haven't done his homework. I'm a civil engineer. Every time that I got hired, people ask me, what do you do? Where you have you done your works? Had previous experience? Have you worked in this? People ask me. They want to know even where I live. People ask me if I have the experience as a civil engineer to do the work. Do I have it? I don't know. I'm still learning, and I'm not gonna stop learning my whole life. I prepare myself every day. But city councils haven't not done his homework. Why? You choose a guy, and I'm not afraid of retaliation, I already say that. You choose a guy that he's been fired for previous work. If I've been fired as an engineer, will you hire me? Will you? Of course not. This guy, and I not been involved with this team before, this guy was fired from 29 Palms, Linwood, and the other city. Why? Guess what? Why? Haven't you go to the internet and Google his name? That's all the things you need to know. You just Google and ask the city council members that are right there in those cities what the references are. You guys didn't do your homework last time. You should do it right now. And I don't have a privilege. I don't have privilege. It's not in a hurry. Why we should hire this city manager with all those references? Why? Because his friend at this, or his friend at that, or he's my friend? Why? You need to hire a guy that must be respectful. He doesn't have respect. I had employees. If one employee tell me something like Mr. Warren has said to the city councils, just even one, guess what? He's not going to be working with me next day. Why? He doesn't deserve to be with me. And last time I saw Mr. Warren, I told him, you don't deserve a raise. And now I tell Mr. Warren, you don't deserve to be city manager of City Calexico.
Thank you, Mr. Yañez. We have Ms. Cordero.
I think, Mr. Yañez, all our city managers have been fired from here. And they're always fired from all the cities, so it's a norm. It's not like, you know, you're going to stay here till you retire because city managers move all over. And they do get fired because the city council doesn't like if they're not making the decisions that they want. So there's always, it's very different from you and I working in the private sector than working in the public sector. Very different. Just that clarification. I'm in favor of our city manager. I want stability. You know, and he's done a good job in the last 9-10 months. I don't know how long he's been here. A lot of us have been here all our life, and we've always had a lot of politics in Calexico. But one way or another, we figure how to go forward. This time we're kind of stuck, and we can't go forward until our city council fixes it. And this one is for you, Mandy, because you're the swinging vote. Yes, otra vez. But we still have coffee at Starbucks. Okay. You're the swinging vote.
You're paying.
Remember, I told you yesterday, there's 2 against 2, because I can't come with Mr. Castro anymore. So you're the swinging vote. I voted for you. My husband had put a letter, because all from our family, 35 friends and families voted for you, because we needed that stability. You can't answer right now. Hold on. So we expect you to do the right thing. And we need your vote to keep our city manager here, or else we're going to lose our insurance. And it's going to be on your head what happens to the city of Calexico. Not on Mr. Castro, Mr. Kim, because we already know how they vote. It's going to be on yours. And that's why I told you yesterday, you're not experienced. You need to wait. You need to absorb like a sponge and learn. And just take notes, and then in a year, melas. Then you fix them. But, you have a big responsibility today to make that decision if you're going to give Mr. Warren his job or not. Because then you're going to send us down the wrong road. And the first ones that are going to have the problem are going to be the employees, okay? Because it is going to be shut down. And I know a lot of you guys are wearing Mandy's shirt and you guys support him. That's great. I support him too because I voted for him. You guys are wearing these shirts because you guys are supporting him. But unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation, And like my father would says, time will tell. And it happens in our lives. You do something wrong, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass, So you need to be careful because history tells the story. And it's been repeating over and over and over, and we still haven't learned. We are still in the same boat, okay? But the ones that are, I don't know, income-wise, it's going to affect them. The ones with a lower income, our senior citizens are going to suffer. And there's other issues in the senior citizens that I'm not going to touch right now that's coming in the next 15 years. That's something else that I'm going to inform the senior citizens because I'm a pre-retiree and I'm going to be a senior citizen too, and I care. My family has always cared for Calexico. We've been here all our lives.
You have 3.
And I got to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cordero. Frank Rodriguez supporting the firing of the city manager but would not like to speak. Support of firing the city manager but would not like to speak. Jose Andrew Parra. Support the firing of the city manager but would not like to speak. Gabriela Cárdenas. Support of the firing of the city manager but would not like to speak. Norma Parra Rodriguez. Support of the firing of the city manager but would not like to speak. Alma Castro. And not in favor, in opposition, in support of firing of the city manager but would not like to speak. Damian Robles. And because number 11 was not approved, we will move on to number 12. Is that correct, City Attorney?
I'm sorry?
We did not approve it, so we can't do the resolution.
No, you're working with the clean slate right now.
Okay.
Basically, this matter is on the agenda. The city council is free to discuss it.
Okay.
And approve the contract, approve it with amendments, do whatever it wants.
Okay, resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico approving the employment agreement with Richard Warren and appointing him as city manager of the City of Calexico.
Motion to not to approve it.
Motion to deny by Mr. Kim. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Castro. Please vote. Motion does not. You got a little nervous there, didn't you, Mr. Kim? So the motion does not pass. Okay.
Motion passed.
Motion passed.
I mean, motion passes, but it doesn't pass as it's written. Okay? Usually resolutions are to approve. Item 12, authorization for the Calexico Police Department to enter into contract and purchase city-wide surveillance systems. And I have a...
Mayor, I'd like to motion to table number 15.
Is it your birthday?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on a second.
Happy birthday.
Hold on, Mr. I'm sorry? Well, Mr. Kim voted motioned to deny the resolution approving the agreement. It was seconded by Mr. Castro and voted 3-2 with Mr. Real, all in favor of denying the employment agreement. Ms. Hurtado and myself voted no.
No, he still stays working. Yeah, he's still interim.
Could you explain?
No, he is still, he still holds his position as the interim city manager. The resolution that was being proposed was to approve a contract as the permanent city manager on the term set forth in the contract. That resolution was denied. That motion was passed to deny that. So it's the status quo. He maintains his position as the interim city attorney, or excuse me, city manager right now.
And the JPIA still has rescinded our coverage. Well, we don't have coverage. We don't have coverage on July 1st.
Good question. What's Plan B?
Okay.
City manager, what's Plan B?
You haven't given any direction.
No, wait a minute. No. Excuse me.
So give direction
Time
to the
out.
city
Time,
manager
Mr. Real.
to
Hold on, Mr. Real,
make
please.
Plan B,
I need
please?
to. I know it's your birthday, but just let me finish here. Right now, there is no Plan B. All we have is an interim city manager, and we have no insurance on July 1st. Just so you know. Thank you. And now we're moving on to item number 12. Go ahead, Mr. Chief Bostic.
Yes, thank you. I'm really excited about this opportunity. Richard Warren worked with me for several months trying to come up with a plan to protect our parks, our city buildings, and provide better public safety for the community. And we had a large pot of money called asset forfeiture money. I currently have $640,000 in that account that's earmarked for public safety, and that's all it can be spent on. In the past, the Calexico Police Department has spent that on personal equipment, fun trips and conferences, new toys for the police department. So we decided to take a different tact, and we're trying to develop a system that will protect the entire city. So we've been working for several months, and we went to U.S. Communities. U.S. Communities is a national clearinghouse that does bidding on equipment and systems and everything like this for all city governments. It's kind of a vehicle to use to actually figure out how to get through the bidding process and get qualified vendors, qualified business people, the good equipment. What typically happens, unfortunately, in the RFP process is the city goes with the low bidder, and then you pay for it for the next 10 years because you have the low bid equipment that doesn't work, or you have somebody that can't deliver on the system. So U.S. Communities helps us through that process. They already go out and figure out who the best people are for what you're looking for. So we went to them, and they recommended a company called Convergent Technologies. So Convergent Technologies is an international company, 1,800 employees, I believe, around the world. And they build, one of their specialties is building security camera systems and automated license plate reading systems for cities. They have them all over California. Most of Southern California carries their equipment. So when we went to work for them, I knew I only had a budget of about $1 million because I know I have another $500,000 coming in asset forfeiture by the end of the year. Honestly, I didn't think I could do it. I just, what the heck, I'll go look, maybe we can get something going. Well, lo and behold, U.S. Communities does such a good job negotiating prices. We currently have a bid in front of you, a little over $700,000. And what that will help us do is cover all of the city parks we'd like to cover to keep our equipment and baseball fields and everything from being vandalized by these hoodlums day in and day out. And we'll be able to have our city buildings covered with cameras so people can't come in like the other day and steal a police bike out of our police building. We actually did catch them because of the camera, thank goodness. But also, what's more important to me is we've had 2 victims of hit and run accidents in the last month. And they're barely alive. And we have no information, the typical hit and run, slight vehicle description. Well, those days are over because the automated license plate readers will pick up every car that comes in and out of Calexico, everywhere they drive, so we'll know every car that's on the road, when it's on the road, where it's been. And also the video cameras will pick up the accidents, and that's my hope. So this is the beginning of an awesome system. And There's a representative from the company now, Fabian Escalante. He's here if you have any questions to ask him. So Fabian has some incredibly unique experience. Well, he's a project manager. Turns out he's a retired engineer from the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department. I think I met Fabian one time in my lifetime in passing, didn't really know him. All of a sudden he comes in and we're working through this bid process, and I said, well, do you guys really have anybody who knows how to do this? Well, that's what he did for a living for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department throughout Los Angeles County. He built security systems. So I'm really excited about this proposal and what's possible. In addition to this, Lieutenant Serrano, the industrious guy that he is, I don't know if he's still here, but Lieutenant Serrano has been working really well with the Border Patrol for the last 6 or 7 months. Well, we finally got our money back from the Border Patrol Stone Garden. And one of the cities in the Imperial Valley gave up almost $48,000 in video cameras. And guess what? We had to hurry up and spend it right now if we wanted it. So we did. We bought 14 cameras, high quality cameras, can stand up to anything. Our heat, our humidity, the never anything. So we went ahead and bought those cameras with the grant money from Stone Garden. So if we decide to go with this, they can go in this system, or they can replace the antiquated cameras that we currently have throughout the city. So the other beautiful thing about Convergent Technologies is they're a systems integrator. And sometimes that's often hard for people to understand, but what happens in the world of technology is company will come in and sell you equipment, and then you can only buy their equipment and only they can service it. They're the only ones. So they kind of like have you. So you have to pay whatever they make you pay every year to get it fixed or replace it. So Convergent Technologies has a completely different approach, and that's what I really loved about this proposal. They buy the best in breed quality equipment, and they don't sell any of their own. You're not going to find their name tag on anything. And as systems integrators, they'll take our current existing video systems all over the city, including private systems like at the mall and other places, and we can integrate those into our system in the city of Calexico. This is going to be an incredible opportunity to change the way we investigate crime in this city and investigate the vandalism and deal with drug trafficking and deal with stolen cars and everything that's happening with the city. So it's a really tremendous opportunity. We'll be using 5 gigahertz wireless network throughout the city. It's an available network that's used for public safety. And this will also give us access, which we control as the police department, to have control boards inside City Hall and also inside the police department where people can look at those big boards. You've probably seen them on TV on, you know, all the stuff they used to have, pretend like we had on the big wall boards with all the cameras. Well, we already have one of those in dispatch, only now we'll have a much better, more robust system. We'll also have one at City Hall. We'll have one at the water department, the sewer department, the various places we have it, but it'll all be interconnected. And one of the city council members could actually be in Hawaii on vacation and through the internet, through an IP address, can get in and see the city camera systems. It's a fantastic opportunity for the city. It's a remarkable opportunity because there's only 7 ways in and out of Calexico. Not many cities are like that. So we put the automatic license plate reading system up, and we know who comes and goes in the city. No more criminals escaping, you know, we don't know the license number, it's just a white car, which is pretty typical. So
I have a couple of citizens that'd like to speak. Olivia Valenzuela, you had this item, as well as John Romo. You can go after Ms. Valenzuela.
Good evening again. Olivia Valenzuela, 707 Rockwood. I think this is a great program. I'll sleep better at night knowing that everybody's watching everybody else.
Yeah, me too.
But we have a situation at Casa del Retiro that's a resident for seniors on 3rd and Mary, and I sit on the board of directors. We've had several break-ins in the last month. The last one was maybe 3 weeks ago. They actually climbed the fence, and there were cameras in place. They dismantled and stole all the cameras, and so we have no way of knowing who or when it happened. We did have a witness, and it was reported. So I would like to know if it's possible that this surveillance system can somehow be integrated to those cameras because they are going to be replaced.
Yes.
So and there are other residents for seniors that I am sure would appreciate the surveillance. There's the Rivera, development, and then of course, public housing used to have what they called the tenant patrol years ago, but that's been done and away with for a long time. But they're interested in starting something else, particularly for the seniors. And so I'm here representing my fellow seniors as well as Casa del Retiro. I would like to know if we can schedule a meeting with you or with city manager or with whom should I direct myself to so that we can handle this.
Yep, glad to do it.
I would appreciate your help and I hope that it can be integrated because the residents there will feel safer and better about their safety.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. And even though I'm talking about this basic system to get started, that's the value of it. I can integrate anything as long as we can do it through the internet. And if you have it on a computer, which you do because that's how you watch it, that can be sent over the internet through what's called an IP address, and we can access it. And we can also control who accesses it, so not everybody gets to, run around the city seeing what they want to see. It'll only be for police business. But it's a great opportunity for the entire city over time. If I continue to do as well as we do in the narcotics task forces, I'll have another $1 million next year to start adding more to that system and make a better system over the long run. And we just keep building on it. I know the mall's planning on building a huge security system out there on all their phases of the mall. We can integrate all that and add some traffic cameras and license plate readers along in front of the mall. All the housing projects, we can do it. A lot of them already have it, and we can integrate it. So I'd be glad to meet with you and talk to you about it and the plan, but it's up to the city council. They have to vote on that first.
Thank you. I would appreciate the opportunity to protect these people. I know that we value our privacy, but we also value our safety, and our seniors are deserving of that and more. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Chief Bostic from the council?
I move for its approval.
Moved. I'll second. Please vote.
I will vote no because I cannot trust money spending in this administrations.
Johnny Romo, I'll get you the next one, okay? Mr. Kim, you're voting in opposition. Mr. Castro and Mr. Real.
Hold on. I had one question.
Okay.
Nobody. Is any money coming from general fund?
No, it's all going to come from asset forfeiture.
And that's a total of 720.
720,000. Then there's also the second item, which is a 4-year service plan. And
The thing is, one of them said they're general fund and asset forfeitures. Which one was that? Is that the plan?
It was the camera system, and we should not have put general fund. What we're going to
Can we amend it? I motion for its approval with an amendment that
No, that's
general
fine.
fund?
We're okay with that because the plan is to use asset forfeiture money, and for some reason the general fund got in there, but we're not going to use general fund money. By the way, this is an incredible system. When I was interim city manager in Linwood with the sheriff's department had it deployed in our city. It's absolutely incredible.
How much of the asset forfeiture fund is going to go to this? Is it like 100% of the money is gone because of this?
No.
Well, I know that I have another 400,000, 500,000 minimum coming the rest of this year, so that puts me at about 1.15 million this year.
So you
and
have
I'll
about
probably have
400,000
about the
left?
same next year. So it's not even going to use all of that. So I'll probably have some more money available to come back to talk about mobile digital computers in the cars to replace the system that currently doesn't work.
Now, some of the funds are restricted for, I think, is it recreation or sports?
Yeah, for sports, and we just recently approved the purchase of 5 scoreboards that we bought
Is it
for
12%?
Little League.
It's 12%?
Yeah, it's about 12%.
Okay.
And what I'd like to do there is continue to use that money for existing sports programs rather than creating new ones within the police department. That doesn't make any sense.
Mr. Mayor, would I need to amend my motion?
For what?
Mr. Real wants the security that the
no money comes out of
funding
the
is
general
only coming from the other sources and not general fund?
Correct.
You just said that it's all coming from asset forfeiture, right?
Yes.
It is, but if you want to amend the
Attorney, do we
motion.
need an amendment,
If-
or-
If you want to amend the motion, that's fine, but our plan is just to use asset forfeiture.
Go ahead, you want to amend your motion?
Okay, so I amend my motion that item number 12 be approved with the understanding that the monies used for this purchase is from asset forfeiture only and no general fund monies are being
What
used.
about drones? Can we
Hold
get
on.
drones?
I'll rescind my second and give another second.
the
So we're
amended
just
motion.
voting on this item?
Item number 12 only.
Okay, so please
already
vote
cast my
again.
vote.
We can spend money for the other good reason.
And Mr. Kim, you voted no.
Kim, there's a lot of money in Calexico. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, Kim and Castro, how do you
rich.
vote? Kim votes no, Castro votes no. 3-2. Mr. Real, you wanted to move up item 15?
Yeah, I gotta leave. It's my birthday, so I just want to make a motion to table item 15.
Move to table item
Well,
15?
Here's my key.
Okay, we'll
Wait,
table, hold. We're going to table item 15?
That's correct.
Okay, I'll
Motion to table.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to table item 15. Okay, thank you, and have a happy birthday, Mr. Real. Do you want to sing him happy birthday? Bad question. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to do number 12. We just did 12. Now we're going to go 13. Hold on. I know, John Romo, you're up. This is Calexico Police Department. Request to purchase a 5-year service agreement for the care and maintenance of the citywide security system.
A motion for its approval being that it is tied to the item number 12. and-
Moved. I'll second. All those in favor, please respond by saying aye.
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 No. No.
And Mr. Castro, did you vote?
No, I say no.
Motion does not carry. I guess we're probably not going to get anywhere unless we table the rest of the items anyway. Okay, motion
Mr.
doesn't
Mayor,
carry?
I do suggest that we save the public from the misery and that we table all items on the remaining balance of this agenda.
So we'll table 14.
Unless there's any that the city manager feels that we should still address.
Okay. Hold on. We're going to wait 1 minute before the great exodus here. And then we'll come back.
I need to ask finance. Hey, John, on the insurance savings, do we have to make a decision this meeting, or can we table? We have to make a decision? Okay.
So that is item number
14.
14.
And it's cost savings.
Okay.
$233,000 in cost savings.
All right.
We recommend approval.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend for item 14
No,
to
they just-
motion for its approval, being that we do understand and do go to our briefings, unless the two other councilmen, being that they probably didn't go to the briefing, if there's any detailed questions they may need to know.
Well, I have Ms. Lorena Minor Montes who would like to speak on this, and then followed by Mr. John Romo. This is item 14, approve revisions to the City of Calexico self-funded medical health plan and authorize the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary to implement the revisions thereto.
Good evening.
Before you begin, can we get some background, and then I can allow you to speak?
The city is self-insured for health insurance, but in order to prevent catastrophic losses, we buy reinsurance after if somebody's claim goes more than $75,000. So what we're recommending here is, so we went ahead and bid it out, the reinsurance. It does not affect the employees' health insurance or how they get health insurance or the health insurance carriers. It only affects who's going to provide the reinsurance, and the employees are not being charged that, okay? So we can save, just on that alone, $117,000 on the stop loss for the health insurance plan. In addition to that, the city also provides life insurance By switching from Prudential to Mutual of Omaha, we can save another $6,800. And then if we change our EPO, PPO health insurance carrier from Anthem Blue Cross to EIA, we can save another $109,124. Now, John, if you want to come forward, my understanding is it does not affect the employees at all. But it saves us $233,000.
The only thing that this changes is the carrier. All of the coverage, all of the processes. Pinnacle is still the third-party administrator in this. The network remains the same. It's just being funded by a pool and managed. The physicians and all of the programs are managed by a pool. It's a state counties association pool, and they're doing it cheaper than our existing Anthem carrier can do. That's all it is.
Ms. Minor Montes.
Good evening, council members. The reason I decided to speak on the agenda item, I'm here as the president of the Calexico Municipal Employee Association, and I believe this is a meet and confer issue. Anything that has to do with our insurance, I understand there's a cost savings, but when I saw the backup on the agenda, it talks about Medicare numbers. So that was my confusion. Now, if it's gonna, I understand Mr. Warren is saying that there's gonna be no changes to the employees, but if there will be no changes to the coverage and delivery of the services, that's one, but will it affect the providers, the doctors that we go to? Will they continue to accept this new coverage? And if so, we want it in writing. Because I do believe this is a meet and confer issue having to do with the insurance. If it is, then I guess our attorney will probably have to file a ULP,
Fala, what, I'm sorry?
an unfair labor practice.
Okay.
Well-
Can you answer those questions that she's asked?
As I said, there is no change.
There's no change.
Well, they have is a medical EPO from the PPO. There's going to be big changes.
No, it's an EPO, PPO, it's the same coverage, everything is the same.
I understand the carrier's changing. I understand there's going to be a cost savings, but regardless, this is a meet and confer. Attorney, is this not a meet and confer issue? I don't know if you've seen our MOUs.
Supposed to
That's
be
why-
with the.
It's not meet and confer if there's no change or no impact to you.
Based on the
But there's
representation
changes.
that there's no change to the
We haven't
employees,
had a
then
health committee meeting in I don't know how long either, so I mean, I'm just here representing the employees and.
We're
to the
just,
best of
we're
their-
just trying to make some savings so that we have some money potentially that we can use in other places for employees.
Well,
But
employees
if you
haven't
don't
seen
want
anything
it,
in
that's
7
fine with
years.
us.
You know, employees haven't seen anything in 7 years, and what they want to know, if this is going to happen, we want it in writing saying, for example, say if I go see Dr. Ceja, will Dr. Ceja continue to receive my new coverage? That's what we want to know. We want it in writing.
Yes.
Will Dr. Quelada continue to receive my insurance?
Claims, all of the claims, everything will be the
Everything's
same.
I make the motion to refer to the.
See, the reason I'm up here is because when we called Human Resources, because the backup was talking about Medi-Cal, that's what confuses me and some of the other employees. The backup is talking about Medicare. It's not talking about anything else. So when we called Human Resources, they couldn't, that's all they said. It's not going to affect us, but we didn't have a direct answer. And that's what we want. Because some of them already left saying, we're not going to have a job after July 1st, but I still care from here to the end of the month. What is my coverage going to, continue to be with
Good.
my provider?
I make the motion to refer to our staff and the union has to discuss on all the details and bring back to us. Because I cannot support this one without knowing what changes. We have to have everything clear. This is like the benefit of our employees, and that is impacting the community. Yes, I don't know. I'm not sure we're going to have a $2.8 million savings, but in order to order $2.8 million, that means that we have to lots of sacrificing certain areas. So I like to know clearly why we're getting that cut. Okay. So I like to push this one back to with the staff and the unions.
So you want a
discuss-
table?
Yes.
Table to
Ms.
bring back
Minor-
again. Do you have
Mr.
legal
Mayor, may I-
representation as a union? Yes, we do. And your legal representative didn't have time to contact the staff and ask these questions?
You know, our legal representation we sent an email.
Please speak into the microphone.
Our legal representation is out of the city. I won't go into detail. Our legal representation has asked for numerous meetings regarding our contract.
But for this specific question?
No, I called HR. Our legal representation doesn't have to call the city for a question. I'm the president. I can ask myself. And I wasn't given.
It's just kind of technical.
Well, it's technical, but I wasn't given the technicality when I called Human Resources yesterday.
That's what I'm saying about where was your legal representation.
It doesn't
I'm just
matter.
saying
My legal representation is going to charge me every time he comes. If I can come and answer, that's better for my pocket, my union dues.
I think what I'm
Plus,
saying is
if
that-
I'm going to get there, we owe my legal representation 3 months behind because when we switched unions, the city stopped deducting our dues.
But it just
from
seems that there's a
employees.
legal question here, what you were asking about meet and confer, that you're asking. I think that legal question.
I'm just saying, this is a meet and confer issue. This is supposed to be talked about in negotiations, any change in insurance.
What she's referring to is that if there are changes to the terms and benefits of the employees, then you generally have to meet and confer with those employees, their representatives and the unions.
Correct, yeah.
Before you can make those changes. But the representation being made by staff is that there are no changes.
Right, there's a difference of.
And
yeah,
I
that's what
agree
I'm
with the
saying.
attorney, if we were changing the coverages, the deductibles, or anything like that, it would be meet and confer, but,
Well-
we're not.
Okay, I don't like this kind of
If I go
surprise.
get Kaiser, there's no Kaiser here, so I mean, I'm not saying this is Kaiser, but if this company is not gonna get my providers in the Imperial County, I might have to go out of the county to go to doctors.
Kaiser has to vote with the Kaiser.
And instead of taking an hour off or going on my Friday, Flex Friday, I'm probably gonna have to take a day off to go to a doctor in San Diego County. I don't know, these are questions that I have.
The Kaiser has to go with the Kaiser.
Why don't you meet?
But my union members.
Okay, hold on. Okay, why don't you, and I will take it in just a minute. Would it be prudent to meet you and maybe some staff members to meet
We
with?
have a health committee that hasn't met.
We're happy to meet with them and show them, but the bottom line is based on, that there is no impact.
We have a consultant that helps us with this every year. We go through this. We go out to bid for all these contracts. This isn't the first time this has happened. We happen to be able, in this particular case, to save substantial money. But of course, if the council doesn't want us to save, Mr. Kim,
With all due respect, our union has been positive with saving money with the city.
Wait, he's speaking, please.
I want to make 2 points. One is, it's my job as a finance director to bring changes, if they're cost-cutting changes, bring them to the council and make suggestions. And if they represent significant changes, obviously, we want to look at those. The other thing is, attached to this staff report, at the very end is a 2-page table. That table includes all of the plans in Southern California. If you were not working in Calexico, you would see wherever you worked, you would see that plan, and you would see how much you would be paying for that insurance. And it would be in the thousands and thousands of dollars every year. In the city here, the employees, even those who do contribute, the maximum contribution isn't even $1,000 a year. So we make an extra effort to make sure we can cut costs, Mayor and council members, and we bring those to you because it's our job to represent things that will truly cut costs, not worried about not getting financial statements for 9 months when you can't even read them, and not having somebody come in my office and disrupt the whole staff.
Ms. Valenzuela, please, no comments from the public.
We want to bring things that are genuinely cost-cutting, that will help the employees, and that will make sure the employees are covered, and make sure that the employees are satisfied. All of these things are being met.
So there are no there's nothing on this that's going to affect their benefits as employees.
How about our providers? And we understand, Mr. Mayor, the group that I represent, if some of them, I think some of them are here, we have stood up to the plate and we understand. We want to help the city. We are, and we were talking about it, we are Team Calexico. We want the better of our city, and if it's going to save money, we understand. But we want to understand that it's not going to change our entire providers. You know, I want to be able to go to my normal doctor and say, you know what, my daughter gets sick and she's going to be able to continue seeing her same pediatrician. Now, if we can get it in writing, I mean, you guys can make your choice. This is a recommendation I'm doing as a union representative.
So we can make a motion to approve this with a caveat that says that the benefits and the terms of the insurance.
You're the council. You can do whatever you want.
I'm just saying.
telling you.
I know. I'm just saying. Would that be a possibility to get the information in writing?
You know what, Mayor? In the interest of moving this forward, I would concur with that recommendation that you just made. Let's approve it, subject to meeting with them, and that it does not change, any of the benefits or terms and conditions of their current health insurance.
Okay. So
We're okay. I'm okay with that.
All right, then we can. I'll make that motion.
I will make a motion.
You made a motion?
Yeah, I made the motion. Then everybody interrupting to.
Okay, go. What was your motion, Mr.
My
Kim?
motion to send it back to the staff to check with the unions all the changes. That has to be, then they can bring the new idea, because what I understand in Kaiser, we have to go their doctors. That is going to be.
Just state your motion.
Okay, so that's my motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. I'll give you a 10-to-1 shot that it's going to go 2-2. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to prolong the meeting, Ms. Cordero? Come on up. So do I. Go up behind her.
Okay, in regards to the health insurance and,
Start timing, please.
you know, being in the Finance Advisory Board, one of the things that we tackled was the expenses. So we already tackled the overtime. The next thing in line was the benefits and health insurance. The people need to know everything that the employees are getting, 100% of benefits, plus all their family, and you guys don't pay a penny for it, okay? So all that's going to come out later. Wait.
Well, excuse me, wait.
Ms.
Loren, Ms.
Yeah, but I you know.
She's just making a statement, please.
I'm making that, because that's the next thing that's going to follow. Once we have the council, or once I know what city manager we're going to have and we can work again, and I would tell you this, Lorena, I'm very disappointed that the unions, the representatives like you and the other 5, what do you call them, bargaining units, were not here to support the city manager. Why? Because you guys are not getting what you guys want, so we're going to go against the city manager. Right. I'm just talking, okay.
Please address the council.
Yes.
Please
So anyway,
address the council.
I'm very disappointed
Lorena, please.
that the bargaining units were not here to voice their opinion or what's going on with the city manager, because it affects all the employees. If the employees are paying dues to have these representatives and represent them here at the city with these issues that are going in the city council, they should have been here and said, you know what, we're in favor of the city manager for this reason, or we're not in favor, but they're not here. Then what the heck do all you employees pay all these dues for? They're supposed to come here and talk and voice what they think of the city manager and all this mess that's going on. But once we get everything in order.
With all due respect, I already told
Okay.
why my union is not.
All right.
Once we get everything in order.
All right.
Once we get
Lorena,
everything
please,
in
no
order,
more.
the next thing on the Finance Advisory Board is going to tackle the benefits of everything of the employees, and we're going to break it down, and we're going to bring it to the people so that you guys, the citizens, know what we're paying for, and see what's fair is fair, and see how much money we're paying on that side versus us paying a city manager or a chief of police. And then we're going to see, numbers. Well, this has been going on for a long time. So we're going to work on that.
Okay.
Can-
All
can
right.
we-
Mr. Warren?
Can we try your motion just to see if it will pass?
I've got two people that want to speak.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry.
I know, Mr. Romo, you have a form. Go first, Mr. Romo, and then Ms. Valenzuela.
I just want to know, I'm not on this, somebody jumped and made the motion in the line item that I wanted to speak. That's line item 12. But I spoke to the chief of police. I have the same concern as Ms. Olivia Valenzuela. And back then in '96, we had, I'm a co-founder of the resident organization, but in 1996, we developed cameras, we had a neighborhood watch, and we had a contract with the city that provided money for above line services. So I think I can do some good here, and I'm also requesting a meeting with the chief of police as well as Mrs. Valenzuela. Maybe we can work together, and I think it's a great idea to have this citywide surveillance cameras. Now I'll do my end of I'll do my end with the housing the housing authorities, and see maybe if I can present a line item there and see if they can work with the city and have it maybe allocations work with the city of Calexico. That will be my role, and I already spoke to the chief about that. In reference to your line item 19, or rather 15, was that removed?
15 was tabled.
Was tabled. That's all I got to say, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Ms. Valenzuela, you may start.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, 2 points. You have been violating the Robert's Rules of Order all over the place. You need a parliamentarian to help you conduct the meetings properly. When I said point of information, you should have stopped the proceedings immediately to take my information, because it would have helped, it would have avoided all this discussion, okay? When I had a point of order, also, they should have been stopped. Anyway, going back to Ms. Lorena's point, having served for 27 years in the state level, State of California Research and Negotiations Committee for Public and Municipal Employees, I do know for a fact that anything to do with the health and welfare of the employees has to be taken to the bargaining unit before it comes to administration. It doesn't matter whether you're going to change a comma or dot an I or cross a T or not to make any changes. They have to be informed prior to coming to you. That's the labor law. And it's not, it's not debatable here. You make a change without going through the bargaining units, you're going to come to face with unfair labor practice and be taken to court, and it's not pretty. Been there and done that for many, many years. So I'm surprised that the attorney is not familiar with that. And to answer Ms. Hurtado's question about why their attorney is not here, that's why they have local leaders to conduct the daily activities. The attorneys are only used in dire necessity when they need to go to court or when the things get so ugly that can't be worked out. Then the courts come into place. Thank you very much for your time.
So
You have a motion?
Yeah. So send it back to the discussion with the union first, all the changes. I believe bargaining union has to be moved to make sure what changes or what is affecting. So union has to be agreed.
Is there a second on this?
I'm second on that.
All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Just one aye?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
I just want to make a comment for what you just said. The fact that legal representation is available to you is to find out the differences, and the difference that I was trying to clarify is about the meet and confer issue. And and you're not an attorney, you're the legal representative, and we all respect you for that, but if you have a legal question, you might have been prepared for today, and we would have been able to help a little better with this question here. It is a legal question, so just saying everybody needs to probably do a lot more homework before we get here, because we're only basing ourselves on what we have here, and we can't help you if we don't have enough. That's all. That's all my only comment.
Well, staff's supposed to know better.
Well, that's all part of interpretation.
So,
So there's 2 in favor, and are you going to vote on this one?
I'll table it only because, I mean, we all have to learn from something like this, that we all need to be prepared. A lot is going on, and if there's legal questions, do your homework and help us to help you.
Okay, so it's tabled.
Well,
Yes?
there's a motion pending. There are 2 ayes. We need to hear the
For tabling, right?
Not to table, send it back to bring send it back to with the unions, was called the bargaining unit to need to discuss with it.
Okay, perhaps I misunderstood the motion, but if it's just a table, so your 2 votes are no?
Well, in a sense, he's tabling it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's but
To
with the
move- and with
with the
direction.
bargaining units. With the
With
has to be
direction. So,
has
yeah.
to be with the bargaining units.
So I'll go with that. Go ahead. Are you on that?
Just for clarification, what they're saying here then is that they want to be able to have the opportunity to sit with the bargaining units and be able to clarify the issue of, is it a meet and confer issue or not?
Yeah.
Is that what we're trying to do here? Is that clarification?
I think what we're trying to do is confirm with the appropriate units that there is no change in any of their terms and conditions of employment as it relates
To
to
straighten out
health
the meet and
insurance.
confer
Right.
qualification.
That
or-
the only change is the carriers, which does save us some money. So, anyway.
Okay.
But we'll do it. Nope. I'm
Has to be everything.
Yes,
in
could you,
writing.
could you do the meet and confer question informally and do it a little quicker?
We can do this fast.
Okay. So we'll table to provide direction. Motion by Kim, second by Castro, to table to provide direction to meet and confer with union leaders, and then bring it back for approval, for ratification. Is that how it goes?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to table. Then we got, yes. Go ahead.
So we're going to table the rest of it?
On behalf of the municipal employees, we have been here supporting the city staff, prior city managers, current city managers. We have been very peaceful, unlike other unions around here, yet we haven't had a contract signed in 3 years. We are willing to work with the city. We were first to take furloughs. In the last 8 years, we have taken a 32% cut in salary and benefits. So with all due respect, Yoli, our union members are willing to meet at the table and willing to help the city.
And I want to help.
And I understand that. We don't want to fight with anyone. We're the underdog here, even though we're the largest union in the city.
Okay.
When I became president, we were 160 employees. We're down to 50 employees. We're still the largest. They leave, they're not replaced, yet we sit down at the table and we're willing to negotiate. We were the ones that gave up the furlough 7 years ago. You know, and I'm here again. You don't see me coming up and talking at every single meeting and complaining to the council about employees. I've been very peaceful. And you know what? I've been getting a lot of crap from other people because I don't raise my hand. I had a conversation with Mr. Warren why our union was not supporting him. He's the only one I need to give an explanation to, not anybody else. So if you don't have the facts, with all due respect, Yoli, come talk to me. Please, come talk to me. This is a union matter, like Olivia said. I was just letting them know if they decided to do this, then we were going to file an unfair labor practice, and I wanted to avoid that. I went to the Human Resources Office. I didn't get an answer.
Thank you,
That's why
Lorena.
I'm here today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. We'll go to 16. Is there an appointment from Ms. Hurtado for the Historical Commission?
No, sir.
Not at this time. Is there an appointment for Mr. Kim?
Not at this time.
Not at this time. Item 17, the appointments to the Senior Citizen Commission. Majority vote, 2 Senior Citizens Commission, 17A.
Why don't we postpone it 17, 18, and then 20?
Is there a 20?
Yes.
Postpone, why?
Okay, let's go to 17A. Is there any nominations for that? There's no application, so we will keep it on the agenda till we get some people and keep it advertised.
Yeah, advertisement.
Acknowledge receipt of the Business Improvement District. Acknowledge receipt, number 18. Number 20, award demolition bid of the old National Guard Armory located at the corner of Sheridan and Harold Avenue. Item number 20.
I believe we're going to be at 2 and 2 anyway, so postpone it.
You want to postpone item number 20, Mr. Kim?
Yes. Or you want to vote? We're going to have 2 and 2.
And we're going to make a change in our recommendation based on the advice of our attorneys.
On what item?
On 20.
Okay.
This is to tear down the National Guard Armory.
The National Guard Armory.
Mr.
If
Mayor.
those walls could talk.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Moraz, do you have a report on that?
But we're not going to do it anyway.
Okay.
We're not going to do it anyway.
We'll make it fast. This is to tear down the National Guard Armory. We're going to pay prevailing wage. The money is going to come from the successor agency. There's no general fund money. We recommend approval. And we recommend awarding the bid to Command Performance Contractors for $67,227.
Okay. Command Performance. All right. Is there a motion to approve this item?
I have a question, Mayor.
Go ahead, Mr. Castro.
On this bid, is this, my question is that the street, the Sheridan, I believe it's Sheridan, right? The one in front of the building is Sheridan?
Yes.
The street, is that include on the same bid? Are these people who are willing to get that contract, my first question is that street is including on this?
No.
Because
in this-
I haven't seen the street. I haven't seen the name of the street.
Yeah. No, the street is not included. The purpose or the plan in the beginning was to include the street, and that came in, it was an after thought on that one. Unfortunately, we failed to put that proposal into the bid. So right now, the proposal is just for the building and the lot to be cleaned. We will be coming back. We're going to put out the bid to remove the street so we can connect the property where the armory is with the park and connect both of them. But this doesn't include the street.
So that's mean it's gonna cost extra money in order to work on the street? You said you forgot, what's the word you say?
We did two different proposals, and unfortunately, my mistake, I failed to put the latter proposal into the bid proposal. But at this point, the 67 covers only the building and the lot too. And what that'll actually do is take the building down, remove all the trees that are there, take all the light pylons out, and any concrete foundation that there may be. At a later date, we're going to come back and we are going to get some proposals to remove the street. The other thing we have to do, we also have, before we can do that, we have to abandon the street and then go out to bid for it.
So this is just the demolition of the building?
Yes, sir.
And the $112,000 that is originally on the report by Unlimited Environmental, is that for the street, or is it, I'm kind of confused here. You've got a table that says $67,000 from Command Performance, then you've got $112,000 on the staff report.
Yes, basically what happened is out of the 9 bids, there were 5 that were non-responsive, and that we had sent out an addendum. And in the addendum, it called out for the addendum to be part of the bid package.
I see.
5 of those, and that's one of them being Command Performance, failed to put that addendum into the package. We did speak with the attorneys to review this, and the attorneys came back, and their comment was that it was such a slight issue that it didn't
it didn't have to be a non-responsive issue, that we could go ahead and accept all the bids as they were. So in the beginning, yeah, we were going with the 112 only because they were the ones that had responded or they were responsive. But after the comments from the attorneys, then we were able to go back to the lowest bid, which is $67,000.
Okay, so all we're looking at is nothing of the street, but just the building.
That is correct.
And the lot there. Now, with the street, would that come later?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions?
So do we gonna vote or do we gonna postpone it, the table it?
Well, we can ask for a motion for its approval for 67,000 to.
I make the motion to table it.
You don't.
Vote for.
Okay, there's a motion to table the item?
Yes,
Mayor.
he wants to talk.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, Mr. Yanez, come on up, please. Mm-hmm.
Manuel Yañez, civil engineer. I was hired as a consultant from one company in Indio, California, and I prepared this bid. For the record, I had 36 years experience preparing bids. No one can do the whole contract, the street and the building with 67,000 without incurring an extra work, without incurring a change order. The other thing is a mistake or it's an error to hire a contractor when everyone was told that the street was included in the bid. Now they are doing something that is, for the way that I see it, is not legal. Why? If they told us to include the street and later on they hired someone that didn't include the street, is that fair? It's like a running a race and going to Vegas and someone in a Ferrari and the other one on a bicycle. Is that okay? No, I don't believe it's okay. And please understand, this type of mistakes creates confusion later on. And it looks bad. Como mi mamá decía, no hagas cosas buenas que parezcan malas. Corrijan eso, por favor.
More lawsuit.
The bid documents only had the building in it.
Doesn't matter. I believe we have a letter from I have some letter copy from the air quality board. They have to have a permit before they do it.
No, that's right. They have a permit.
Yeah. All those permits will be required from the contractor once the contract is issued, as well.
But anyway, I'm not going to approve it because this we not owned it yet. Well, we have to spend money for that. This already owned it.
Okay, hold on.
Mr. Kim, yes, you're right. We have to get a permit from APCD. However, the permit needs to be gotten 10 days prior to construction, demolition.
No, it's not true.
I just spoke with Sacramento office. They actually came to my office this morning, and we clarified that. And they said, okay, fine. When you're ready, just have the contractor come in. That was my discussion this morning. You were not there.
Okay, so, okay. Thank you. We'll call for the question. Is there a motion to approve this item?
Motion not to approve it.
Motion not to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Please vote, or please respond by saying aye.
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 Opposed? No?
No.
Okay, motion does not carry. I will try again. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
Moved. I'll second. All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
No, because I like to put in the note.
Okay, and I will adjourn the meeting. That is the last item.